I'm here with Dennis Crowley, CEO and founder of Foursquare, the Web 2.0 Summit. Dennis, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Sure. It's not really a show, but...
It's more fun if we pretend it's a show, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you just recently released Radar, which is sort of a new way for people to discover things around them using Foursquare's Explore functionality. Just describe what that is and what you're trying to do there.
Yeah, so, right now the Explore functionality leverages the billion or so check-ins that we have in our database, and it uses that to, take into consideration all the things that you've done and try to push interesting things back out here. But, it still requires that people are opening up the app and going into Explore and searching for something. Right. And it's just, people do it all the time, it's just a lot to ask of users. So what we've been doing with Radar is, finding a way for people to use the app really without having to really actually use it, right? So you turn Radar on, and we're basically running Explore in the background. And so when something pops up that we think you'd be really interested in, because it's on your to-do list, because a friend highly recommends it, because there's a lot of people that you know right there at that place right now, then we can buzz your phone and say, oh, this is the thing that you need to pay attention to.
And how often were people going into Explore before, and how much have you improved that? How do you measure the success of this feature?
Yeah, we track the number of people that are using all the features on a on a weekly basis. It's just it's like even the check-in in general. For someone to have to go into Starbucks every time and think about Foursquare and then to check in there like that, it's just asking a lot of people. And it's I think it's amazing that we've been able to grow the company as much as we have, based on the check-in. But now that we want to leverage all the data, we think what is the easiest possible onboarding experience for the next 20 million users that we're going to get? And we think it's something along the lines of, you download Foursquare, you turn on Radar, you're just kind of running it in the background all the time, and it's letting you know about things. You don't have to pull it out of your phone every couple, every couple hours to give it some information. It just is aware of what's happening and it's letting you know about it.
And how are you balancing sort of the desire to show people interesting things versus flooding them with too many notifications? So, especially with the new notifications in iOS 5, I'm getting a lot of Foursquare notifications, even things that I don't want, like people who want to be friends with me, which I don't even think is part of Radar, but I don't differentiate with them.
Well, we give people the ability to turn all that stuff off.
Oh, really?
There's notifications and there's kind of Radar things.
Okay.
So if you don't like getting the pings, you can always just turn those things off. For the Radar stuff specifically, we built a bunch of throttles into it, so it knows not to bother you too much, and it knows to only bother you when there's something that we really think is interesting, like when the quality score is very, very high. Right. And a lot of the stuff right now is stuff that you have explicit intent on. It's something that you added to your list. It's something that's on a list that you follow. And so as we get more comfortable with those settings, we'll be able to do more interesting things, pushing more recommendations.
Right. So do you have your iPhone 4S already?
Yeah, I got one the day it came out, pre-ordered.
What do you think about Siri and what that means for just sort of how we interact with these devices going forward?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm a big fan of the direction that stuff is going in. I haven't really had that perfect Siri experience yet. I'm still waiting for that. But I think what Apple's doing for the masses is teaching people that if you if there's something a problem that you're trying to solve using your phone, you don't have to go to the search box to do it. There's an alternative interface for that, and that's just, that's a big idea in itself, and Apple has the muscle to be able to promote that type of stuff. Right. I think we're doing something similar with Radar. It's you can use the app without having to use it in the way that you traditionally think of using apps. You can just turn it on and let it push things at you. And even though the features aren't really, they're not the same, there's similar tones there. It's you're trying to get people to interact with this data, trying to get people to interact with the device in a different way than they've been doing in the past.
Do you have any sense of when Apple will let you integrate Foursquare with Siri, so I can just talk to it and say check in?
Yeah, not yet. We'd love to get a hold of some of the APIs so that we can, you can do things like, oh, check me into this, or where are my friends, or give me, a recommendation for a place in the neighborhood. I think, the Explore recommendation engine that we built would be a great asset to what's going on with Siri.
Well, what would be amazing is the reminders are amazing, and their location, they're geo-fenced, and if I could get reminders that are tied to Foursquare tips,
that's basically what Radar is right now.
Right.
So we're using a lot of the same technical infrastructure that Apple's using to power their reminder feature, but we're just doing it with our to-do list and our tip list and tips that people are leaving at different